Today we are taking a look at Albedo from OVERLORD. This is the pirate version figure in the Coreful Figure line by Taito. Today's highlights for this figure are the expression that shows Albedo enjoying herself, the pirate outfit, and the garter belt. The first highlight is the expression. The yellow gold eyes, fine blush lines across the cheeks, and small curved smile create a relaxed expression rather than an exaggerated one. The V sign raised beside the pirate hat adds another playful element around the face and makes that enjoyable mood even easier to read. The second highlight is the pirate outfit. The black pirate hat with its gold border and white skull and crossbones ornament establishes the theme around the head, while the black coat is draped over the shoulders with its red inner surface visible behind the body. The white frilled top, brown corset, diagonal brown belt, and short white frilled skirt continue that layered arrangement through the torso and waist. The third highlight is the garter belt. Thin black straps extend from beneath the short white frilled skirt and connect to wider black bands around the upper thighs. Because the vertical straps and thigh bands remain clearly separated, the connection between the skirt area and the stockings is easy to follow from the front and angled views. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The head is built around a relaxed expression that clearly shows Albedo enjoying herself, and that mood is established first through the face before the hair and pirate accessories expand the shape around it. The yellow gold eyes contain narrow black pupils, while long eyelashes extend around the upper and outer edges and give the gaze a clearly defined shape. Fine reddish blush lines spread across the cheeks without covering a large area of the face. The mouth forms only a small upward curve, so the expression stays gentle instead of becoming overly dramatic. Together, the eyes, blush, and smile create a calm but playful look that remains easy to read even with the bangs crossing the face. The hair frames that expression in several separate layers. A thick black section of bangs falls through the center of the forehead and extends low across the face, while narrower strands run beside the cheeks and toward the neck. From the back of the head, the hair continues well below the waist and divides into many long individual locks rather than forming one solid mass. Those locks gradually separate as they move downward, and each one narrows into a pointed tip. The black color remains dominant through the upper and middle sections before changing into purple toward the ends, making the lower part of the back hair visually distinct. Around the top of the head, the pale beige horns extend outward beneath the black pirate hat. A thin gold border follows the pointed outer edge of the hat, while a white skull and crossbones ornament is attached at the front center. The ornament sits above the bangs as a separate raised part, so the hat, skull decoration, horns, and hair remain clearly readable even where they overlap. Beside the hat, the raised black gloved hand forms a V sign, bringing the hand directly into the arrangement around the face and head. The upper body is arranged around the black pirate coat, which begins with its collar around the neck and then continues over the shoulders toward the back. A gold border follows the outer edge of the coat, while the large inner surface is red and remains visible behind the torso. The coat is draped over the shoulders rather than worn with the arms inserted into the sleeves. Because of that, the wide empty sleeves hang separately behind the actual arms, and their open cylindrical ends remain visible from the side and rear angles. Gold bands circle the sleeve ends, and small round gold buttons continue along the outer section of the coat. At the front of the torso, two white frilled sections sit above the brown corset. Fine raised lines run across the white surfaces, and small repeated frills follow their upper edges. A white ribbon joins the center, forming two loops with narrow ends that hang down over the upper part of the corset. Beneath that, the brown corset continues from the chest toward the waist and narrows through the center of the body. Several vertical divisions break up the front surface, while the lower edge extends down toward the white frilled skirt. The arms remain clearly separate from the unused coat sleeves behind them. Exposed skin at the upper arms changes into long black gloves before continuing toward the elbows and hands. One arm bends upward toward the head, and the gloved fingers form a V sign beside the pirate hat and skull ornament. The other arm bends downward beside the waist, with the hand held near the hip and the fingers curled into a smaller shape. Because the two arms move in very different directions, while the coat sleeves remain behind them, the upper body gains several overlapping lines without confusing the actual arms with the costume. The lower body begins with a short white frilled skirt spreading outward beneath the brown corset. Broad folds run from the waist toward the hem and divide the white surface into several sections, while the lower edge rises and falls in a repeated wave. From angled views, some sections overlap others, so the skirt keeps visible front and rear layers instead of reading as one flat piece. Over that white area, a separate thick brown belt passes diagonally across the front of the waist and continues around the body. The belt carries a gold buckle near the front, and the belt itself passes through the buckle before continuing beyond it. Several small holes are arranged along the brown surface, and the pointed end extends past the buckle. This keeps the brown corset, white frilled skirt, and diagonal belt readable as three different layers around the waist. Beneath the skirt, thin black straps from the garter belt extend downward and connect to wider black bands around the upper thighs. The narrow vertical straps remain visible between the skirt and the thigh bands, while the stockings continue below them. The legs then transition into black long boots below the knees. Large folded sections project outward around the upper edges of the boots, and their pointed ends are traced by gold borders. From there, the boots narrow toward the ankles, where several horizontal folds appear before the shape continues over the feet toward the toes and heels. One leg is positioned farther forward, while the other remains farther back, creating a clear difference in depth through the lower body without crossing the legs. That front-to-back placement continues the diagonal movement already established by the belt and the upper body pose. This figure is approximately 18 centimeters tall. That's about 7.1 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Albedo by Taito stands out because this figure combines a relaxed expression, a layered pirate outfit, long black to purple hair, and a pose that guides the eye naturally across the whole piece. The face leaves a playful but controlled first impression. The yellow-gold eyes are framed by long eyelashes. The blush stays fine across the cheeks, and the mouth forms only a small smile, so the expression feels enjoyable without becoming exaggerated. The V sign beside the pirate hat adds another playful accent near the face and strengthens that mood. The hair expands that presentation very effectively. The bangs are divided into a thick central section and narrower strands around the cheeks, so the face remains framed by several separate layers. At the back, the long black hair divides into many individual locks and continues well below the waist. The purple color becomes more noticeable toward the pointed ends, giving the lower section of the hair a clear visual change. Above that, the pale beige horns, black pirate hat, gold border, and white skull and crossbones ornament create another distinct group of elements around the head. The upper body works well because the costume layout and the arm pose support each other closely. The collar of the black pirate coat begins at the neck, and the coat then spreads over the shoulders with its red inner surface visible behind the body. Because the arms are not inserted into the coat sleeves, the wide empty sleeves hang separately behind them and remain easy to distinguish from the long black gloves. At the front, the two white frilled sections and central ribbon sit above the brown corset, while the raised arm brings the V sign back toward the head and the other arm bends down beside the waist. The lower body continues the same layered arrangement. The short white frilled skirt spreads beneath the corset, and the separate brown belt crosses diagonally over it with a gold buckle near the front. Beneath the skirt, the thin black garter belt straps connect to wider bands around the upper thighs before the stockings continue downward. The black boots finish the legs with large pointed folded sections outlined in gold, while one leg stands farther forward and the other farther back. What makes the figure especially effective is the way all of these elements connect. The eye can move from the smile and V sign through the white and brown sections of the torso, follow the diagonal belt into the legs, and then return through the long hair and pirate coat without feeling stuck. Because of that, fans of Overlord or Albedo will likely enjoy this piece very much. Collectors who like pirate-themed outfits, playful expressions, and layered costume arrangements should find it a very satisfying addition. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.